Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to April
18th?
Sure.
I don't know.
If that's what you want to believe.
I paid my taxes, it's all that matters.
See, this is the beauty of editing. Let's do that again. It is the 18th.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hang on, let me stop the recording.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to April 18th, 2015 at Bakersfield Speedway, the third mile that just you barely fit all the action within it. We're getting ready to go with our first heat race of the night. That's right, we got Midgets on track at a turn number 4 to take the green flag. It is the Western Honda Performance Development Midgets.
How about this battle for the lead already?
3-wide battle for the lead into turn number 3. Way on the outside, that is the yellow machine, the 15.
I think it was a 5, but they put some duct tape in front of 5.
Which leads me to believe that that is a Hazelton. I'm going to go with Ron Hazelton because that's labeled as a 5X car. Well, keep an eye on that. The 37 machine of Wally Pancratz just pulled it into the infield. Side-by-side continues for the lead with the number 7 of Sean Buckley to the inside. Some great racing for the lead, but the 15 machine, it does say Hazelton on the door. And in the third spot, the number 59 of Jet Davison. And another car going to pull it off. It's the 00 of Cody Jessup.
So the 3 cars on screen are the 3 cars left racing.
Maybe this is a elimination race.
It could be. Every lap someone has to leave the track.
Well, one person who's doing some leaving right now, that's Hazelton in the 15 machine, pulling away from second and third place. This has been our most exciting heat race of the night.
Yes. Tell you one car that's all over the place, the number 7.
Yeah, Buckley's been holding on to that 7 car since the drop of the green.
He's got that steering wheel in his hands all crossed up, especially through this corner, turn number 3 and 4. I think he's getting the car down. White flag.
Like Tommy said, white flag in the air. 7 laps of 8 completed at a turn number 4. It's going to be the 15 of Hazelton to take the checkered flag and win the first heat race of the night.
The Honda Western Performance Midgets on the racetrack right now, also known as the Ignite Midgets.
Formerly
known, you're right, absolutely. On the pole, the number 98, JR Jr., Randy Pancratz. Leads the field to the green, the 44 to the outside. Starter, Tom Patterson. Patterson slips to third, the 5. He's going to slip it a little bit, and now we have a battle for the second spot. Ashley Hazelton, the number 5. Fourth place, the number 25, Marvin Mitchell. 4D machine is in 5th, and that is driven by Robert Dalby. And rounding out the field, the number 38 of Jesse the Hammer Love.
There's a note next to Jesse the Hammer Love. Would you mind filling people in on just maybe how old that driver is?
10 years old. Holy cow. 10 years old and you're racing out here at Bakersfield Speedway. The track is 60 years older than that kid driving. 3 laps up on the scoreboard. The number 98 continues on the lead, Randy Pancratz.
Yeah, we got a bit of a battle brewing right now. Hazelton trying to move in.
We got 2 ladies duking it out, Randy in the number 98, and then Ashley Hazelton in the number 5, battling for the lead potentially. That 5 of Hazelton's closing in here on lap number 5 of 8. And here comes Ashley Hazelton to the inside for the lead, but Randy Pancratz is going to put the block on, probably without even knowing that she was there. So Ashley's going to look to the high side now. Go where the other aren't. And the 44D almost got some tractor tire in turn 2. White flag is out. Is Pancratz going to hold on it? Or is Hazelton going to sneak on by? She throws it down into turn number 2. 2 more corners to figure out who's going to win this Honda Performance Development Series Heat Race. Number 2 goes to the 98 of Randy Pancratz. Second will be Ashley Hazelton, and third will be the 25 of Marvin Mitchell.
American Stock Heat Race number 1, getting ready to go with Charles Morrison in the number 9 machine on the pole. To his outside, the 25 is Cody Sly. Actually, it's the dad, Sly.
But I believe Anthony Sly.
And diving it into turn number 1 is the number 3 of Ratcliffe. He's going to hold on to it, and 86 of Mike Waters jumps to the outside for second. Also in this field, the number 1 in machine, that's Nicholas Johnson, who graduated out of the mini dwarfs, and the 14 machine of Mark Irwin. 3 wide for second.
Oh, these American stocks.
Contact for second.
Sandwich.
Oh, boy. And I'm pretty sure someone's suspension is going to be hurting. No, these are American stocks. Nicholas Johnson clips the wall out of turn number 4. These cars are good to go.
Oh, man. We told you. We told you to expect the unexpected.
Well, Anthony Sly with the early lead. Oh, boy, almost taking down the wall was the one in of Nicholas Johnson. He missed it by inches.
He's been trying to take out turn 2 and turn 4 walls.
That tells me that Johnson's pushing a little bit harder this week. Waters is into the wall, possibly with a flat tire. Johnson's going to spin it out into turn number 2. And ladies and gentlemen, as the yellow flag comes out, we remind you, yes, we are American Stock Racing.
First yellow flag of the day / of the evening here.
Getting ready for the restart, lap number 3. Anthony Sly, our leader. Father of Cody Sly. We've seen Anthony racing for multiple years in this division. But he's got to watch out because Morrison and Ratcliffe are both showing that they're pretty much ready to do anything to get to the front.
Charles Morrison in the number 9 machine lately has had a fast car, but the bad luck of his kind of...
Uh-oh, that's a problem for Ratcliffe.
Yes, it is.
Tommy, you had this happen to you just 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago.
That one looks like it was an accident.
I looked over and I saw the car do that bounce that is notorious for the axle brake. And I looked down for a second, and by the time I looked back up, I knew that there was a problem. You see, more than likely, the axle broke on Ratcliffe's car. I guess I'm going to be right back to where I was with Mike Waters. How much trouble is Ratcliffe in right now?
You know, that's another thing that he has to hope for, that in the truck somewhere there is a spare axle for him, or somewhere in the pits there's a spare axle that has the same spline and length and everything he needs, because it's doable.
Yeah,
it's you've got to have those parts. Here it is.
Lap number 4 restart. Nicholas Johnson returned to the racetrack after pulling into the pits. He's back in the pits. Ratcliffe sits in the infield, and 3 cars are left to duke it out for the final 4 laps of this heat race. Sly, Morrison, and Irwin. Sly has been up front the entirety of this race. Returning to the track is Johnson.
We talked to Cody Sly in the pit area earlier today, and he said that he has not made all the races, and this is going to be one of them. He let his dad drive, the number 25, and that the fact that the car is going to get a makeover very soon.
Yeah, and actually to go on that point also, he did reference that he had only made 2 races so far this year, which would lead me to further believe there's been at least 3. Man, are we good at what we do.
Yeah, well, the problem for us is we're not here every Saturday night.
So an update as the white flag comes out for Sly. Noticing Nicholas Johnson, who is back on track, a little bit of smoke coming out of that car.
Let's take a look. As you see, the top 3 are very well settled in.
So that makes me wonder, it's not necessarily probably...
Listen to the motor. Listen to the motor.
Checkered flag for Anthony Sly in the 25 machine. Morrison second, and Mark Irwin in third.
Something tells me that 1N machine is having transmission problems or something, because that thing is doing more revving than going.
Yeah, it's definitely has a higher song than we're used to hearing.
It's going to be a long one. It's going to feature every wreck that you've seen all last year. Getting ready for the green American stock heat race number 2. And the number 24 of Tyler Johnson will lead the field to the green, to the outside the number 19H. Sunkist machine, if I were to guess, if he's only needed a sponsor. I do not have a name for that driver, but we have a 3 wide heading into turn number 3. Trevor Baker in the number 10, battling it out with Tracy Childress in the number 17. Don Meade in the number 99. And rounding out the field, the 44, the only, I believe, other winner this season, the number 44, Brian Childress. Brian Childress having to do some motor work after the last race out here at Bakersfield Speedway. So they're experimenting a little bit.
I was going to say, he's been in no hurry to get moving up through this pack.
Which could be good or bad news for that 44 team. Because he might be hustling that car and it just doesn't want to go anywhere. He's duking it out with a 10 of Trevor Baker, who goes way wide and in the wall. Trevor Baker's scraping that fence, cleaning it off of some mud.
We got a great battle here. Continuing on.
Tracy Childress, Brian Childress, yes, they are family members. And I don't know if they're going to be too nervous to run into each other if it needs to be. Ahead of them in the is the number 99, Don Meade. We saw here win on Race Feed X last year at the end of the season out of Bakersfield Speedway. And they're all chasing down the number 19H, who we don't have a name now, but trust me, we'll get the name before the main event start. Out into the lead and gaining time over the field, the number 24 of Tyler Johnson. He takes a white flag across the line.
That Tim machine got into the wall earlier, but able to keep it up there with the pack.
Don Meade makes it by
right as I say that.
the 19H for the second spot, but out of turn number 4, the number 24, Tyler Johnson. Checkered flag, heat race number 2 for the American stocks. Don Meade, and at the line, it was, let's look at the scoreboard, the 19H taking third over Brian Childress, who tried to get by.
Nice run for Carl Edwards. It is the CD CRA Dwarf cars getting ready to go for their first heat race of the night. We're going to give a run through of the 7 cars in this heat race. The number 6 machine of Dave Conley will start on the pole. It is outside the number 9 of Devlin Autry. The 12 machine is John Isabella with the 5 car of Angel Figueroa. Then we go back a spot. That is the 48 machine of Keith Vandersar.
I got it correct.
Vandersar. And the 20 of DJ LeBeau. And rounding out the field, the 21 machine of Jimmy Villa. Green flag is out. And, oh boy, the 6 car had to check up.
Conley washed up out of turn number 2. Here comes the 12 for the second spot, but Conley making a charge to the outside.
We've seen, with just about any division like this one that has the wheels exposed, that these cars don't like contact.
No. Autry out with the lead in the number 9. Battle for second continues.
Battle for third starting to brew up. Conley still trying to hold off. Oh, Conley's going to spin it out. And that was a short battle for third. Conley does continue on. No caution going to have to come out. The 5 machine of Figueroa moves into the third spot.
I was not too surprised to see Conley spinning out. We saw him having some handling issues a little bit throughout this heat race.
One thing I still can't get over is Vandersar.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Isn't that strange? We've come to know him so well with Vandersar, but it's really Or he's from somewhere in Europe. Could be.
Well, Figueroa now trying to move into the 12 machine. This battle for second. Isabella going to try to hold off the charge. But all by themselves, the number 9 of Devlin Autry is pulling away.
Look at that lead. He's
in almost a full straightaway. He was assisted by the problems of Conley on the first lap. White flag is out for Autry. Though we do know Autry to be fast in these dwarf cars. If a little bit sideways out of turn number 2. And out of turn number 4, Devlin Autry in the number 9V machine will be our winner in the first heat race for the CDCRA dwarf cars. And then we got the 12 of Isabella and the 5 of Figueroa rounding out the top 3. Von der Sar.
Crazy. Heat race number 2 for the CDCRA dwarf cars. On the pole, number 33 of Brandon Wiley to his outside. The number 69 starting on the front row, Jonathan Conley. We go green. The number 56 in the third spot with a bobble. Slips back to fourth is James L.J. Billings. The number 43 slips up into the third spot, Hannah Mayhew. And a little bit of contact, and that sends a 13 of Ira Henry into the infield.
Did I hear correctly that it's Ira Henry's birthday?
Yes, it is. We heard that in the driver's meeting earlier.
Well, there was a birthday present to Ira Henry.
Happy birthday to Ira, who spun it into the infield. The number 54 rounding out this field of Steve Brunn. Steve Brunn and the 56 of L.J. Billings racing it out into turn number 3. Brunn going way wide. That's a battle for fourth.
I don't think this battle for the lead is quite done yet.
Conley, Jonathan Conley, and the number 69. We've got 2 Conleys here, like usual out here at Bakersfield in the CDCRA division. Jonathan Conley, the number 69, leads. But the battle for the second now. Second spot battle. Hannah Mayhew making a move to the inside. Her number 43. And gets the job done, but crossover by the 33 of Wiley.
Conley's loving this right now.
Not able to get the job done. Wiley slips to third. Conley is loving this. Whether or not he's got a rear view mirror, it always helps when you got the battle for second behind you. White flag this time by for the field, Jonathan Conley. A fast driver to look out for in the main events. Always running up front. Same could be said about the last race winner and Hannah Mayhew in the second spot. Checkered flag flying. Jonathan Conley in the number 69 takes the checkered in the second CDCRA heat race of the night. Mayhew second, third is Wiley.
Coyote. Super late models, NASCAR on dirt, getting ready to go for their first heat race, and leading us away will be the number 27 of Nick Bartels with the 91T of Tony Toast is outside. Got to watch out for the 2H of Bobby Hogue tonight, and the number 10 of Rob Sanders. Green flag is in the air. Rounding out the field, Justin Rich in the 63, the number 12 machine of Rob Bartels, and boy, Sanders not have the greatest exit out of turn number 2, but the 42 of Colton Bartels rounds out the field. Sanders is struggling out of turn number 2 again.
Yeah, that 10N machine not liking this track the way it's coming.
Yeah, that right front is just digging in.
Battle back here, Bartels and Rich. Well, let's take a look at the 10N. Your fastest qualifier having some handling issues. Rob Sanders.
Bartels flipped it up. Hogue looking for a line at the inside.
And your leader as they run, Tony Toast in the 91T. He's got a fast hot rod. Look at that car, not budging at all.
He's closing in on the 42 of Colton Bartels. The 42 machine needed some help getting started on the track. Maybe having some mechanical issues right now. I don't see very many people running towards the bottom of the track right now, Tommy.
No, and that's good. I could see this track really widening out. It might be from the top of the wall down to the bottom of the berm.
A lot of these cars riding right up against that cushion. Bartel slips a little bit higher in the cushion. That allows Hogue to look to the inside. White flag is in the out for Toast in the 91T. That time Hogue struggles, and I believe the 42 machine is up in smoke. Checkered flag to Tony Toast in the 91T. Nick Bartels, Bobby Hogue round out the top 3, and the 42 of Colton Bartels is not going to make it to the finish line.
He said smoke. It is smoke in that 42.
Barbecue.
And unfortunately, that could be a barbecue under the hood. Heat race number 2 for the late models here at Bakersfield Speedway. It'll be Larry Childress starting on the pole to the inside of the 29, Andy Obertello, and we go green. Oh, bit of contact, and Carla Laney and Jerry Stewart crash down the front straightaway and finish it off in turn number 1. That'll bring out the caution. Also in this field, number 91P, Jason Papage, 32B of Clay Daly.
That was 2 different wrecks that happened on the same straightaway.
With the same cars.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Don't question me.
Okay. All right, getting ready for the restart. Complete restart, just minus 2 drivers. We go green. Clay Daly in the 32B trying to make it 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. Papage in the second spot now. Gets by Larry Childress in the 17. His teammate, the number 91T of Tony Toast, won the last heat race you saw. We are on Race Feed X, a little bit of TV bringing it to you. The number 29, Andy Obertello, in the lead. But he's waving. He's got a mechanical issue. Your leader, the number 29 of Obertello, on lap number 2. Something going wrong. And Papage inherits the lead. Down the front straightaway, and again, we might see teammates up front in this late model main event. Could be a Toast Papage racing sweep.
For anyone from the East Coast joining us on today's live stream, Papage has actually done some East Coast racing lately.
Late model, Lucas Oil late models. Battle for the second spot, Childress and Daly, side by side out of turn number 4. I want you to take a look for the viewers that don't know this, which is probably all of them. On the roof of that 32B is a taxi cab light we like to joke about. That light is actually very ingenious. That doesn't flicker. It doesn't go on and off when he hits the brakes or not. It's not a gauge for anything other than the car owner uses that light at big racetracks that get really dusty to always keep an eye on his race car, so he knows where it's at all times. Pretty cool idea, actually. It's lap number 7, and coming to the line, your winner, Jason Papage in the second heat race. Daly making a charge one last time, but it's not going to get done. Larry Childress second, Daly in third.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to go hobby stock racing here at Bakersfield Speedway. First of 2 heat races that we'll be having. And in this field, starting on the front row, Kevin Collier in the number 18 machine to his outside the 257 of Brad Aboyton. Row number 2 gives us the 87W of Lloyd Wren Jr. and the 52 machine of Perry Alderman. Row number 3, the 59 of Mike Hill Jr. and the 41 of Tim Delsa Jr. And rounding out the field, the 6X is Robert Lawler.
If Robert Lawler is going to win this heat race, he's got to pass everybody to get to that win.
Including the winningest driver of main events this year, Kevin Collier. We were discussing this just before we returned to our YouTube broadcast of Boynton around and Delsit avoids.
Smooth.
That looks like something may have... No, he just spun it out. No caution.
Battle for the lead. Here comes Lloyd Wren Jr. in the number 87W to the inside of Collier.
Lawler is up to 4th. We mentioned, oh man, O'Boyton's having a really exciting heat race. But I was going to say that Lawler apparently has 4 heat race wins so far this year, which would make him the heat race winningest driver.
Boyton, you're spinning.
Oh, Hill sideways, holds on to it.
Boyton, your spinning driver in front of your leader is about to get lapped. He would not be a favorable driver if he spun out in front of leaders at this time.
Lawler's up to 3rd. Can a Boyton help Lawler get it? Oh boy, in front of Collier, goes around to Boyton. Oh, and a couple cars having contact. Still no caution.
And here's Lawler. That really closed them up. 6X of Robert Lawler.
He's going for the heat race championship.
And they do award points in the heat races, so he's gaining points every time he wins.
Well, we're just past the halfway point in this heat race. Lawler right now working on 2nd place. And given some of the cars in this heat race, I wouldn't be surprised if we were to have a yellow at some point. Lawler looking for 2nd. Wren trying to hold him off in the 87W. It's green versus pink. Collier really hasn't pulled away from these drivers either, Tommy.
No, absolutely. And that kind of goes to show the competition in this series.
White flag in the air for Kevin Collier. Lawler is running out of time. Through turns 3 and 4, out of turn number 4, it's the 18 machine of Kevin Collier taking the checkered flag. Lloyd Wren Jr., Robert Lawler in 3rd. And then Mike Hill Jr., Perry Alderman, Tim Delson Jr., and the excitement factor of the race, the 257 of Brad Boyton. Nice.
Heat race number 2 for the H&S Bodyworks Hobby Stocks. Noah Allen will start on the pole to his outside, the number 37 of Aaron Stewart. Field at the ready, we go green. Chris Settlemeyer in the number 8.
Almost into the wall.
That was exciting.
And still wrecking.
Bunching up from 2nd on back. It's been a rough start here for this Hobby Stock heat race number 2. And Stewart goes sideways. Noah Allen goes sideways. Cook making a move to the inside. Woo! Ralph Cook, the 80-year-old in the number 78 machine. In the 2nd spot, Noah Allen goes to 3rd. Settlemeyer goes to 5th. And how about the number 18? No, the 15H of Brent Hosfeld.
New looking car.
That's right. I don't really like those numbers.
I think the numbers I heard were temporary.
Good. And rounding out the field, the number 47, first time we've seen this car on the track, Chris McCulkey.
McCulkey Colin. Uh-oh, Tommy. Someone's about to lose their groceries.
Ralph Cook, the veteran in the series. He's losing his trunk backwards. How about that? The hood clip had only one job to do, and it failed.
Dang it.
But I don't think that's going to stop Ralph Cook.
Cook's gained a little bit of time on Stewart, but Stewart definitely right now looking for another good heat race. When we were talking in the pits, Tommy, this 37 machine's been on a rail so far in 2015.
Aaron Stewart's looking to capture his 3rd heat race victory of the season, which would be 1 heat race short of Robert Lawler, who has the most heat race wins of 4. Yeah, Aaron Stewart's been on a charge here tonight and all season long. White flag, he has a main event victory. White flag for Aaron Stewart. Good looking machine here tonight again. Into turn number 3. A 37 with a tiny bit of a bobble takes a checkered flag for his 3rd heat race win of the season. Cook finishing 2nd and Noah Allen finishing 3rd. NMR TQ Midgets heat race number 1. Getting ready for their first heat race on the pole. The number 40 machine, that is Chris Thomas. To his outside, the number 2P, Chuck West. Inside, row number 2, the number 18 machine of Scott Dobson. Into Scott's outside, the number 20, that is Dakota Schweitzer. And rounding out the field, the number 77 of Ace Kale. So those are your 5 NMRA TQ midgets ready for their first heat race. And I don't know what Schweitzer's doing. He's closing in now. There we go. Field at the ready. Lights out. And we go green. NMRA TQ midgets. West out to the early lead. Throws it into turn number 1 and 2. Chuck West, the veteran 5-time champion out here, getting some pressure to the inside from the number 40 of Thomas. Side by side for the lead. 4 cars under a blanket. Dobson in the number 18 is in 4th. Dakota Schweitzer in the 20 machine. Thomas in the 40, still taking a peek to the inside as they head down into turn number 1 on lap number 2. Ace Kale has a bit of a gap between 4th and 5th. Oh, and a tumble. Dakota Schweitzer flipping around in turn number 2. That car took a tumble in turns number 1 and 2. We go red. Good to see him moving around inside that cockpit. Having to catch his breath a bit. Tossing the helmet. Definitely not happy.
As the precautionary measure, we will roll the ambulance over there.
As you can see, that Dakota Schweitzer driver, not a happy man.
That man is invincible. Give it up for Dakota Schweitzer.
Good to see he had all the proper safety head and neck restraints.
Now, let me tell you about an accident like that. Have you been in a race car? Once and only once.
Just 3 laps into the heat race. First heat race for the NMR TQ midgets. I almost forgot that last letter.
I thought you just stalled it.
Yeah. I'm not used to driving a stick.
So Chuck West in the number 2P holds on to his lead, but you know, Thomas in the number 40 machine has been applying some pressure here lap after lap. Lost a bit of time. Now he's got to regain it, and he is closing in on your leader. Lap number 5, making lap number 6 on the board. That'll be 2 to go.
This is our last set of heat races.
Yeah.
And following this, we're going to have a dash for the Super Late models, and then we're into the main events. Now,
You were talking about in the late model race how the cars were riding up on the high side using all that cushion.
yeah.
These cars, these TQ midgets, they live on that low side.
Yeah, it's a I guess comparison of horsepower.
Oh, Tom is really hitting the throttle in turn number 3 and 4, but Chuck West will win this heat race number 1 for the NMRA midgets.
I was going to say horsepower and weight.
Yeah, very true. Getting ready for heat race number 2 for the NMRA TQ midgets. Field at the ready, all lined up. 5 cars in this heat. We go green. And into the lead early, the number 36, West Evans. Got the 55 machine of Dave Lambert in the second spot. The number 5 goes to Bruce Hiroshima. He's always one to look out for in this race. Kind of like the quiet driver that all of a sudden pokes in the last few laps. Where did he come from? That's Bruce Hiroshima, almost the 3 wide for the lead. And there he is, sneaking into the lead. I told you about him. Bruce Hiroshima into the lead here on lap number 2. The 07, that is driven by Kevin Kale, and rounding out the field is the number 7 of Ted Dan. And you can see that 5 machine, your leader, on the gas, running that car hard. And we were talking about the late models running the high side and the TQ midgets living on the bottom feeder type race cars. Nope. Hiroshima is definitely telling us otherwise. He's running that car way up high, keeping that momentum. Now you see West Evans running the high side, but he kind of peaks back down. So for some setups it's working, definitely Hiroshima, and definitely not for others.
Hiroshima's been the class of the field in this E-race.
He literally is running away with this lead. It looks like he's the only one that's able to get the traction up high, and if you take a look at second on back, everybody else just can't get the handle running on this track. This track definitely drying up, and apparently Hiroshima is the only car that has spiked tires. White flag flying for the number 5. Huge lead, battle for the second spot through turns number 3 and 4. Lambert giving Chuck West a run for the money. Bruce Hiroshima, checkered flag, battle for the second spot out of turn number 4. The number 36 of West Evans over Lambert.
Oh!
And in the wall, and definitely broken now, right rear suspension. The number 7 of Ted Dan as he crossed the line in the fence. He made me cough.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those watching on YouTube, we thank you for tuning in with us. And just a reminder that if you're ever sitting at home on a Saturday, check us out on Race Feed X. We're Low Budget TV, and this was Bakersfield Speedway. Action! We love you.